Hi everyone, I'm Jose. I'm going to talk about Superman Lois, Season 3, Episode 12. This episode is called Injustice. Let's just talk about Sarah and Jordan towards the end. Just, their whole other thing right now. So, Lois is, and she's in the rest in her house, and she came back from her procedure. Not came back right away, but it's been a couple of days after her procedure. Then Lex Luthor is actually being released, and he doesn't want the press to know. And then this is entire episode about him, basically just him walking towards somewhere, which we're going to find out later towards the end of the episode. And then Lex Luthor is in prison, and he wants to have his hair cut, so he wants to take the razor from this guy named Otis. And then he basically, it's weird thing with these characters, these supervillains in prison, where it's weird. It's weird how it is, but there's not there's not a lot of normal things going on there. It's most shows these days about having some characters in prison it seems like they're always the ones in charge, and it does make sense for someone like Lex. It feels a little weird that it keeps happening in some shows that I don't know, some Arrowverse shows also like that, kind of like Arrow, but that's beside the point. Anyways, he's basically taking over the prison because he's actually threatening the dude who's in charge of the prison. Not a prisoner, but obviously the dude who's been making sure the prisoners are doing what they need to do and stay put, basically. And Lex Luthor actually demands to his kid, and by having his kid call the guy over the phone, then basically he wants all this for a razor, so he can cut his hair and then find a way to. And then the stuff that happened, because the events that happened with Bruno, Mannheim, ended up having Lex being released early. So that's actually good news for him, and he actually leaves, and then but he does wants to make sure he has revenge towards Otis, and then later on, Otis is his driver. That's weird how that turned out. Yeah. So then, towards the end of the episode, Luthor wants Lois to quit being a journalist because her words put him in prison for 17 years, and he didn't get to see his daughter grow. And a photo of his daughter, and green too. So I assume that he doesn't want to be with. I assume this whoever he was married to isn't. He's not interested in going back to her or anything like that. He dropped the ring, but kept the photo when he was walking out of the prison. But yeah, overall, Lois is not got back down, and it's a really intense scene. The scene of him and Lois and Clark. It felt like kind of thought for a second that does he know that Clark is Superman, but apparently not. Not yet. Who knows? Yeah. So I don't think they were going to reveal it or anything like that. But reveal it's a dandy to let's that would be so early to all this. Jonathan is in the firehouse of Kyle, and then he was being treated a little bit special because since Kyle knows Superman's a dandy, he assumes that he should be treated with respect and appreciates it, but he would prefer to earn his way to any position he can within the firehouse. It's not really a position, just the idea of him being, the way he's being treated within the firehouse is something that he's actually interested in. Clark ends up talking to Kyle about Jonathan of it, and tells him to pump the brakes a bit, and Kyle understands that because Jonathan was dealing with one of his crewmates of like a sandwich order that he forgot, and then the other dude got mad, and then Carol told him to go home. So Carol has to realize what he's doing. I really like Carol in this episode. He actually, as much as he wants to treat Jonathan with a lot of care, which is nice. However, just that, like I said, Jonathan prefers to earn his way towards that. There's a lot of respect I have for Jonathan in this episode. He has a lot of, he actually knows what he wants, and he's trying to earn his way on top without going the easy route. And he's not. I'm glad that Clark spoke to Kyle about that, because Kyle was like, basically giving him all the attention that probably would have maybe overwhelmed Jonathan through this. Let me know what you think about Jonathan and Kyle throughout this episode. Do you like that Kyle was going to pump the brakes up a bit with that, of the way he treats Jonathan? And then we have Jordan and Sarah. Let's get started with that. So in the beginning, we see that because of Superboy saving Junior and Sarah, Jordan and Jonathan's friends in school were like talking about the superhero for some reason. I'm pretty sure that Junior spoke about, telling everyone about him being saved by someone who's kind of like Superman but their age. And then Jordan he's trying to make light of the situation, trying to do whatever he can to make sure he doesn't just cover Bruno, and also doesn't have to, also wants to, he's kind of excited that he's being talked about in that way. So I don't see that as bragging, which is what Sarah assumes later in the episode. And then Sarah is annoyed with Jordan's ways, and she wants to stay away from Jordan, so. And then it's weird because Jordan goes into the diner where Sarah now works, so he's wondering what they all when it comes to, like, in the position of, would Sarah keep her secret? And she's trying to, she wants to, but she tells him that it's a little hard when he's all over her, bugging her, and it's mostly him that pushes her too. But nevertheless, then it's all the end with Jordan and him being Superboy in public, and which makes Lois and Clark really mad in a way where he doesn't want, or Superman doesn't want Jordan to save anyone for the time being, so he wants him to give a suit to Sam, and then Sam gets a box of his stuff. So, and then there's this thing with Sam talking to Lois and talk about Lex Luthor and things, which I already explained, and then about the fact that about Lex being released early, and Lois just found out so late within the day. And then this thing with, then back with Sarah and Jordan, they talk to each other, and then this is tornado, and then and then Superman has to save the city, the Smallville area, by stopping the tornado, and then it seems that he can handle it, and then Jordan saves he intervenes, and he gets involved with the tornado and saves everyone and stops the tornado, and then which made really which did a good job too. And also Carol and Jonathan were able to see it from a distance as well, so that's cool for Jonathan. Yeah, so, and Carol just he's excited for the who's actually flying, well, Superman at least. After Jordan stopped the tornado, he could have flown away, he could have flown home, he could have flown behind Sam's car at least, but no, he lands right there in front of the people who will try to take cover, and then which Superman sees and really gets him really mad. And then towards later when they talk in the kitchen, Lois is irritated with Jordan, and Jordan is basically grounded so hard, and he uses powers to basically get off, got away from Clark, and which really pisses Clark off. I like that Sam pointed out that there's gonna be somebody out there who's gonna put two together and realize it's Superman and the new super hero in Smallville will probably have some situations with each other. I love this Sam's dating right there. Eventually in the episode, Lana approaches Clark and Lois about Jordan's identity dilemma here, because her and Sarah assumed that Jordan was bragging, and like I said earlier in the video, I don't see it that way, and even though they see it, and kind of feel bad for Sarah here, but at the same time, I know way that she's not off the hook completely. Just she's, I don't think she's in a difficult position. It's just that Jordan's not really easy too, and then she does seem a little annoyed to the point where she even admitted that she is making it all about her. I just said, yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to turn out. There's one more episode left of the season, so who knows what's going to happen there between those two. And then towards the end of the episode, we have Let's Go, where Bizarro is, and Bizarro kills Otis. So that was weird. I had that happen that way. Yeah, that's how the episode ends. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this episode. Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Was there something about Jordan you liked in this episode? Was there something about Sarah you liked in this episode? Did you think Clark and Lois were being too harsh towards Jordan? Or do you think that Jordan was doing the right thing with standing up for himself in the diner? Well, in a way, and also, and yeah, and do you like how Kyle and Jonathan are in this episode? I'm surprised when Clark was talking to Kyle about Jonathan. He also did. I'm surprised Clark didn't, or Kyle didn't mention Sarah and Jordan. That was all they didn't explain much, especially that, Kyle was talking to Sarah about her job, about not her job, about her life, and then eventually he told Clark that she was in dino now, so she wants to be more focused on her career or something like that, to get away from, to keep her mind off of Jordan. So Kyle told Clark that in the firehouse, but he didn't. But that's alright. I assume that Clark will eventually know that she's working in diner. Thank you for watching, or if you're listening to Spotify for podcasts, I appreciate that. I'll see all of you next week for the season 3 finale of Superman Lois. Take care. Bye.